Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. You are listening to Saving the Investor radio show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci. We have a special guest coming on a little bit later, Arda, and we'll fill you in on all that. But we're going to fill you in on a week that a lot of activity with the market, with the shutdown, with this Gaza Israeli peace deal. So stay tuned and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Southwest Florida. Great to be with you in studio. Alfie, as always, where you're listening to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend, with over 40 years experience as a CFP and as a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any individual product or service that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And whether you're planning your legacy or preparing for the next phase of life here in Southwest Florida paradise, Alfie's here to guide you every step of the way. So just lean in and listen, because today's show is packed. After the market update, we'll be joined by our special guest, Arda Boyar from Mondo Uomo, Alfie's go-to for his TV wardrobe for the past 10 years. You don't want to miss that conversation towards the end of our broadcast today. But first, I want you to grab a hold of Alfie's High Net Worth Toolkit, designed exclusively for affluent retirees and pre-retirees. Inside, you're going to have access to just 9 copies that are available that will help you navigate the fog of investing. They're downloadable guides that will talk about tax reduction, estate planning, large IRA strategies, charitable giving, and so much more. Be one of the first 9 people to claim your complimentary toolkit. All you have to do is text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Again, that's 239-747-1077. You want to pick that up right away. And let's get started with Saving the Investor in the market update. Alfie, we have the peace deal. We have the peace president and the peace deal out in the Middle East. You have NVIDIA making some noise, with all of this investment in open AI and many things that are happening that are really driving the markets. Markets are a little bit of a mixed bag this week, but what's your take on that?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. Like you said, the peace deal, hopefully that is a long peace deal and everything gets signed and wrapped up and it's there for many years, because that would be fantastic to have peace in the Middle East. But the stocks are, had a pretty decent week. Volatility, look, we have government, shut down still. And this is going to take a toll on the market down. As the longer it stays, the more you're going to start to see things crumble a little bit. But remember, I want to give you some statistics after in a bit. Just stay tuned. You're going to want to hear these about prior market, really government close downs. Now, we also have the S&P. They're just humming along. The Nasdaq's humming along. With modest gains. The Dow, relatively flat. That's the one that's lacking a little bit this year. I talk about this. The Dow is only 30 stocks. So the barometer is the S&P, because the S&P is 500, and that's what really is the big part of the picture is the S&P. So
all-time highs too, right?
All-time highs, and we're going to have some pullbacks now and then. It's okay. If you got to remember, to reach a new high, you have to hit records. So we hit a record, then it goes down, then it will go back up, and that's what's wonderful about the market. We always talk about it. The market went straight up. That would be like a CD, getting you 3 or 4% going straight up. That's not too exciting. When you hit markets, markets hits new records. That's telling you something. So. Volatility, it eased a little bit in the midweek, but then at the end, Friday and Thursday, we had some volatility. You have global risk, that investors and traders are really assessing, and then, the domestic fiscal uncertainty. There is uncertainty. Remember, what drives markets, uncertainty is something that will drive a market usually more down than up, because markets don't like uncertainty. All of us, It'd be nice to know everything, but we don't know everything, and that's what keeps us on top of our game, is not knowing, but prepare the best you can prepare. Now, the good thing, let's talk about energy. Energy and inflation. So energy prices, oil prices dropped. So if you have a boat, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because because it dropped about 3%. So that's good for your oil and dropping. Your gas futures are dropping. That's good news. But what it does, when you have lower energy prices, transportation, manufacturing sectors will tend to do better. And that, if you have lower energy prices, it really, if you go back to inflation when it was high, how high was energy prices at the time, right?
Yeah.
And energy is, when you look at petroleum, there's so much that petroleum is used for, not just gasoline, is used to make products and plastic and everything else. So when you can get that down, and it's coming down, and it's going to come down more and more, and when that comes down, you're going to see, I think, inflation start to, give us a little bit ease, and we do need that. But we do have the government shutdown, John, and it's, it's been going on for longer than we like, and how long is it going to last? We don't really know, but it seems like the Democrats are.
They hold the key on how long it's going to be.
Yeah, but I don't know. Are the Republicans doing enough to really blame the right people, the Democrat Party, of holding us hostage?
I blame Schumer. I mean, Schumer shut down. I mean, it's a clean CR they brought to the floor. They want to keep funding, health care for, illegal aliens. I mean, we can't have that. We've got to cut back. But
they wanted $1.4 trillion
crazy
added to this deficit that we have, and we just can't do that. You're talking about inflation. You're talking about inflation. If we add that, if that gets added to the debt, inflation is going to be where it was when that's exactly what happened when Biden added $1.5 trillion, $2 trillion to the deficit when we didn't really need that money. The economy was starting to rebound, and they added that money just to give money to people, and that's the problem. You cannot keep doing this, and that will create inflation.
Yeah, well, it has. I mean, we see it all around us.
It has. So, but let's talk about the shutdown. We're going to talk about, as the government shuts down, typically during the last 20 government shutdowns since 1977. So think about it. There's been 20 times this has happened since
under Trump's last, I think it was 17 days under his last administration.
Yeah. So it happens, and it's 1977. Since 1977, there's been 20 of them. But 55% of the time, the S&P is up.
Yeah.
55% of the time, the S&P is up. But 1 year following, after it reopens, after government says, "Hey, we're open, we're good for business," this and that, it's up 86% of the time. But the average is 17% return. So just look at the long picture, not the short picture. 17% average after they reopen. So stay tuned, and let's get this thing reopened.
Yeah, we need the government back open so that we can take care of our military and those people that are depending on paychecks. You know, if you've been thinking it's time to get a clearer picture of where you stand financially, you can start with a simple 15-minute phone call. Can't get any easier than that. It's quick, it's personal, and it's designed to help you see if we're the right fit for each other. You know, Alfie's going to see if you fit him and he fits you before you make any big decisions. To get started, listen, you may have some questions on your minds or just a topic that you want to discuss. Why don't you get a hold of one of our trusted advisors here at the Advantage Retirement Group and text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, just text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. 747-1077. One more time, that number is 15. Just text it, 15 to 239-747-1077, and you'll come to a landing page with a calendar, and you'll be able to pick a 15-minute time frame when one of Alfie's trusted advisors will call you to answer any questions that are keeping you up at night or whatever on your mind. Text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. Don't hesitate. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away. Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner and strategist Alfie Townsend. You know, if you value clarity and want to know what's working with a dedicated financial team really feels like, let's start with a 15-minute phone call. You'll walk away with insight, direction, and a clear sense of whether our approach aligns with yours. And it's so simple to do. All you have to do is pick up your smart device and text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. Do it right now while you're listening to me. Pick up your smart device, text the number 15 to 239-747-1077. And one more time for good measure, text the number 15 to 239-747-1077 and schedule your private 15-minute call with one of Alfie's trusted advisors. And Alfie, Tech and Communication Services led this week's gain. As always, it seems like the NASDAQ is really driving the markets, isn't it?
NASDAQ, if you're not in the NASDAQ, you've really missed a lot of gains over the last few years. It's been, with NVIDIA and the Magnificent Seven, you have a lot of great companies in there, and tech's going to be around. AI, you have AI optimism. They were talking about, is AI overrated? And we're just at the forefront of AI. We're just getting started with AI. There's, what they're going to have to figure out is really the energy to run, AI. I think, with nuclear, you got nuclear energy, you got reusable energy. So these are all sectors that you should be looking at investing in. You got, you have the technology side, but you got the energy side too. We have some great portfolios that we're using both, the energy and AI. So if you're not really looking at that, that's something you need to definitely look at, because energy is something that's going to really runs the world. But nuclear power is probably one of the only type of energy that can. It's not going to be these windmills. I can tell you that
they're all coming down.
They're all coming down. But you need real energy, and nuclear is, they have a good handle on that. And so, look at some of these energy factors there that we're going to need, because it takes so much to run all of it. And so that's what's driving the markets. You have technology, communication, services this week. So, what's nice about it is, when you have a diversified portfolio, John, you're going to own different sectors of technology, communication. We have a great portfolio that we use, and there's like 9 different sectors in there, and with energy, telecommunication, technology, and you have all these different sectors. And what the managers will do is they're looking at the sectors in the future, knowing what, with all the research that they're doing, that's what we pay them for, is to which one is going to be the one that we need more exposure to. And they start taking it out of, let's say they take some out of technology and put it over to energy or whatever. They're going to rebalance it, and they do it quite a bit. So this is what's nice about it, is have an actively managed portfolio that you can do that. And that's the difference between active and passive. And I will say, when I first really got in the business, I was more of a passive, and we talked about it for many years, how, what passive is. You build a massive portfolio that has a lot of different sectors, a lot of, your large cap, your mid cap, your small cap, and micro cap, right? And you try to capture everything, but you keep that allocation the same, and what you do is rebalance. and that's Nobel Prize laureates, Markowitz. That's how he invested. But if you look at after more and more education and really learning about active trading, I said, I'm more active because, especially with this world that we live in, it is changing constantly.
Ever changing.
And if you're not changing, you're dying. And it's nice to have portfolios that will change, to different sectors, more, heavyweight on different things. If you weren't heavy in technology and you left everything the same, you missed out about probably 10% a year on gains.
Yeah, and they see it coming, right? So they're ahead of the curve. Whereas a passive portfolio, you're not really doing anything to catch. The wave.
They might see it coming, but they're not doing anything about it except rebalancing. So that's the difference between active and passive. So, I at our firm, we are actively managing. Our portfolio managers are looking at portfolios, and they are making changes as they see fit. And that's, we have a model here at the Advantage Retirement Group that we really meet every quarter to see what companies we want to take out and put in. So, I prefer that. Our clients prefer that, and that's something we can always have a conversation. I know John talked about a 15-minute phone call as he was talking about that a few minutes ago. I was thinking that's really a great way to meet somebody without having to come into the office. If you want an appointment, absolutely call to come in. But if you're like, hey, what, I'd like to just ask a couple questions, and see if there's any way we can work together, or if we want to work together. And a 15-minute phone call, you can get a lot out of it, because we'll ask you questions, but what we're going to do is listen to your questions that you want to ask us, and Joe really talk to you about what we do here and what makes us different at the Advantage Retirement Group. I am about to go. I'm leaving early next week to go to California. I'm flying all the way to California to meet probably 10 of the top alternative investors that are running multi-billion-dollar funds, and I get to talk to them individually, have dinner with them, and meet them, and that's what's going to be. It's going to be probably my most exciting trip I've ever had with investors, and to be able to come back and share this with our clients and put them in things that no one's really going to have access to, that I know of. So this is going to be exciting. So that's what I'll be doing next week, and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, definitely. You hear Alfie talk about this week after week, and he talks about clarity, confidence, and taking control of your future. It all starts with one simple step. Why don't you take 15 minutes to talk with our team? It's no pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation to see if we're a good fit for you. It's so easy to do, and basically all you have to do is pick up your smart device and text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Again, text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Get a 15-minute phone call. Text that number 15 to the phone number, and it'll take you to a landing page, and basically you can set an appointment, and one of Alfie's trusted advisors will give you a call at that time and establish communication and talk about some things maybe that are keeping you up at night. Maybe there's some questions that you have on your mind. Maybe there's just a tweak to your portfolio that can be made over the phone, but it could lead to something where you might want to come in and sit down with him. Either way, text the number 1515 to 239-747-1077. Alfie, I know we got Arda Boyar coming into the studio any moment now. He's the owner of Mondo Uomo, where you get all your clothing for the television show. When you watch Alfie on TV, they get to see him there, and they see all your beautiful Albertos and all the nice designer jackets that you wear. Just a tremendous business down there in Naples, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's a great business he has. I think he's been there since 1992, so it's been years. And the Venetian is such a I don't know if you ever been down there, our listeners, but it's really a great place to go to have lunch, dinner, and really to walk around. But his store, he's going to talk about his store, how he started, and his background. But like you said, John, when you do these TV shows, and you have to look good. And when I first went in there, I wasn't looking too good, so he got me looking better. But his clothes are wonderful. If you never really been and seen what Italian clothes look like, or some of his other clothes, and what I like about it, John, is that he has things that you don't see every day.
Right.
And you're not going to see it in department stores and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. Arda is going to be right around on this other half of this break. But yeah, this has been a pretty good week with the market, considering everything that's going on, John. We have just a lot of geopolitical stuff. We have our it seems like our congressmen, our senators cannot agree on anything. I don't think they'd agree on eating ice cream together. Oh, it's a shame.
Definitely the great divide.
It is a great divide, and it's sad that we have this this problem right now. But even back when Reagan was president, he didn't like Tip O'Neill that much. But man, they went out and had drinks afterwards, and they. Maybe we can come together as a nation. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner and strategist Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years experience as a CFP. He's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he does offer here at the Advantage Retirement Group. And Alfie has come out with a book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway, and you can pick it up. Absolutely complimentary today. All you have to do is text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie wants to save investors from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. That's why I named this broadcast Saving the Investor, to help you navigate through the fog of investing. And you can pick up a complimentary copy of his book today by texting the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Or you can go over to savingtheinvestor.com. We covered a lot today, from the market updates to the latest in government and global news. Now it's time for a very special treat. Joining us in studio is someone who's been at the forefront of men's fashion for over 3 decades now. And he's really been Alfie's go-to for his TV wardrobe. Why Alfie looks so good over the last 10 years on television is because of the owner of Mondo Uomo, Arda Boyar, who's in studio with us. And welcome to the broadcast today. And I know you two know each other for a long time. You got a lot in common.
Yeah.
Thank you,
and
John.
You always look good, Alfie. And I think now I met the man that has made it possible.
Well, you have, and we are blessed to have Arda here. He's Armenian. He's going to talk a little bit about that, but I'm half Armenian also. He's all 100%. So this is a treat to have him in studio. We're going to talk about his business and what he sees really in the Naples area. He's been there many years. So welcome to the show, Arda.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Alfie.
Great to have you.
It's been wonderful to be with you guys.
Thank you.
Great relationship we have.
It sure is. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Arda.
So I'm a tailor's son, so I go back many years. Grew up on the tailoring tables. My dad was a tailor. From there, when I got married, moved down to Naples with my wife, and we opened what we know what to do, is sell men's clothing.
Absolutely.
We opened that store in '92. Been there since then at the Village on Venetian Bay. Great little setup there with all the waterfront restaurants and all. So it's cohesive with what we're doing. And over the years, we just built a nice business. It's grown, different variations of our business. But for us, it's a means to an end. It's for our family, for the growth, for everybody who works for me. So it's been a great little adventure so far.
Well, what I like about it is when you go in there, you have the same people that you've had for many, many years. And that tells you something. When people come into our office, our establishment, they see people that's been here for 10 years, 12 years, 8 years. So that tells you that they like working with you.
That is the key. That is continuing making people around you grow with you. It's not about me. It's not about only my family. It's everybody around me that counts. So
yeah,
that's the whole key, and make everybody involved in that. And the whole group of that is. And we pass that on to our consumer, to our customer.
Yeah.
It's not about, just our store selling you something. It's about making you feel comfortable wearing that thing.
Yeah, no, and it's a great store, like you said, where it's located. When you go into his store, it's beautiful, number one. But what happens is you go towards the back where the shoe department is, the shoes. You are overlooking the water there, and that's very unique.
The Village is a special setting. The whole waterfront experience. It had originally more of a Venetian look. Now it's a little bit more of a modern look.
Yeah.
We're fortunate enough that we're on Gulfshore Boulevard, so luckily our customer base right across the street is a well-demographically placed customer base who knows what they're looking for. And most of Naples, Fort Myers, most of our customers know exactly what they want, and they expect the level that accompanies that. So that's where the Village comes in. You can come shop in our store, go over to the ladies' stores. I think there's probably the nicest restaurants in town at the Village area, so all waterfront. So it makes the whole shopping experience a little more enjoyable for you.
And it's an outdoor, it's outdoor shopping, which is nice. And so tell us, we know how you got into the business now. But it's changed. You said it's 1990.
92 is when we opened the store.
92. So what type of now you did have ladies' clothes at one point.
At one point, we did an extension store at the Bonita Springs at the Promenade.
Yes.
And that store was a major footprint. The store was actually very big, so we had to divide it in two sections.
Yeah.
We had a menswear and a women's wear division. That was just because of the space of the store.
Okay.
But my background has always been menswear. I don't want
to
muddy the waters. That's what I know what to do.
Yeah.
And most men like that we don't have the women's wear in there. It's not overpowering. You can come in as a guy, quote unquote, and shop at your convenience without, looking at all the women's wear around you.
And the women like to go in there to shop for their husband, their boyfriends, their kids, because you see clothes there that you don't see, at other stores. That's what I like. So I want to ask, do you go, I dated a lady many, many years ago before, of course, Tommy, and she was a designer, and she would go to New York a lot to look at the fashions. Now the fashions are different right now. You can look at fashion on internet that you don't have, but do you still go to New York? Where do you get your?
For example, this summer I went to Pitti in Florence. So once a year I try to go to Italy to go see what's coming up, talk with my vendors to see how they're gonna approach what's coming up in Europe to bring it to United States. So obviously we're not in the LA market, Miami market, where it's maybe a little faster paced on the fashion side. So we have to adapt that for our customer.
Yeah.
We have a slightly more conservative, if you want to call it, or more of a gentlemanly customer. So we can't be going and getting the cutting edge fashion. Some of these guys are going to look, I hate to say it, silly in that stuff. So we have to make it more appropriate for what the needs of our customer is. Yeah. Fashion is one thing. Fashion is wonderful. But style is something else. Our job is to work on your style and not your fashion. Fashion, you can open any magazine, go on their website, buy the product, quote unquote, you're fashionable. But to truly have style, you got to work on that a little bit. And hopefully my store and other stores around, there's plenty of good stores in this area, will help you with your style. And with style, then you pick up the fashion pieces. So let's not confuse fashion and style. Most people confuse the two. They're two different entities. Fashion is, like you said, on the magazines, what's available out there. But style is what you make it. And that's what we're trying to do with for you, is try to make your style your own, and we'll try to help you with the goods that we bring you.
Yeah, I love it.
And we've done that with you, with the outfits. You have a certain style now on TV. And, it's your style. That's not what we made.
Yeah.
That's your style. We just have to help you get to it.
Yeah. And like you said, you've been... we have a partnership. We're all, really the clothes that you see on Saving the Investor every Sunday at 11 o'clock to 11:30. Arda is the one dressing us, and his suits are, it's more not a suit, it's more of a sport coat,
which is more this area.
Yep. And we got rid of the tie. I remember doing the shows at the very, very beginning. Pastor John was my mentor at the really radio and TV. But TV, I had my tie on, he had his colorful tie on, and we had a suit, and I would change this suit, and I think Arda saw some of the stuff I was wearing and said, "What are you doing?" There was no fashion there.
And we're lucky enough, you're fortunate enough, you're an easy template to work with, Alfie. You're so personable, your look is so distinct. It's an easy process with you.
Well, thank you very much.
You make it look good. Now, John, we try our best.
Well, it's my son now. He's looking pretty good as well. And as you see, Alfie has style. That's because Arda and his company, Mondo Uomo, down in Naples, you want to go down and visit that because you're going to have style. And Alfie presents very well on television. If you haven't seen his television broadcast, you can see it on Sunday mornings on NBC2 after Meet the Press. And you can take a look at what he's wearing there. But why don't you take a ride down to Naples and visit that store and go out to dinner or go out to lunch and enjoy just the beautiful area that we have here in Southwest Florida as we're coming into the best time of the year from October to May. And if you want style in your portfolio, you want Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional taking care of you. Alfie has over 40 years experience as a CFP. He's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not to any products or services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. And he has put together what's called a retirement simulator process that will take your portfolio through a deep dive and really see what's going on. He's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns each and every year. Make sure that you're allocated properly, diversified correctly, not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting each and every year. And he's going to make sure that you're setting the course and getting to and through retirement. Listen, he can only handle 9 people this week, so be one of the first 9 people to pick up your smart device and text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Text the word VISIT and visit with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. He has 2 beautiful offices, and you could sit down and meet him directly. Again, text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077.
Perfect. And Arda, we're going to keep you into the next break here a little bit, but there's so many different brands out there right now. But what you're going to see in your store is not the brands you see everywhere.
Right.
And that's what I like.
And that's when you said, do you go traveling? Do you go shopping? I'm in New York probably every second month. And I work with vendors that I think are good for our store. So we'll go over our brands later. But there's, it's like you say, even in your business, it's not one product for everybody. You bring in different avenues of investing for people. Clothing is pretty much the same. There isn't one cookie cutter way of buying your clothes. And if you find the right stores or you find the right investment advisor, you find different ways to grow. In your case, is your financial portfolio. In our case, it's your fashion portfolio.
Yeah. And I remember you used to have Robert Graham there, but then you said, you know what, that doesn't really fit our clientele.
Correct.
And you can get Robert Graham anywhere.
Right.
So I like the fact that you made a business choice to say, you know what, we're not going to carry Robert Graham anymore. They're good product, but they don't fit our client. So we're going to stay tuned. We're going to be back and talk to Arda more about fashion. Welcome back to Saving the Investor. Alfie Townsend here, Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional, here with Pastor John and Arda. And Arda, we've been talking about your fantastic store that you have. And you've changed a little bit because we didn't really, in 1992, you didn't have the internet really a big presence on the internet. And is that a big part of your business now?
The internet has opened a lot of doors to people.
Yeah.
As you know, in your case too, it educates at the same time.
Yeah.
So it is a huge part of our business. At first we took the internet as an education. We looked at the internet ourselves, what out there, what people are shopping, where they're shopping, and we tried to incorporate in our brick and mortar in our physical store. Presently, we are doing a major investment going online. We have done that for the last 2 years. I've done that with a partnership with another vendor. We do a golf line and a jean line called Alberto Pants. So as a company, we work with them for their national website. So we're in charge of their national website. It's a German company. But now we're bringing that concept that we did for 12 years on that part to Mondo Uomo. We're making the the internet shopping experience as much as we can similar to the store experience. And that's what was lacking in the internet part. Brick and mortar is always going to be there. But if you make it so easy that people can buy it online, you miss the brick and mortar. So hence, brick and mortar has to be easy. And you see it yourself, Alfie. When you walk in, the shopping experience is easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key, is making that shopping experience easy. Where did we learn that from? We learned that from the internet, how people shop on the internet. They love going on, making their shopping experience easy. So we have to relay that back on a physical point and not on the internet, on the digital side. Now we reverse that backwards, we reverse engineer it, and we bring your web shopping experience with the same experience that you had in the store. You like the way the pictures are laid out. You like the way we ship. You like how fast we approach the product. And that helps people get a better value of the whole shopping experience. I had a tagline many years ago. It was, come see what shopping is all about. And because people forgot what it is. They thought you go to a store, some guy comes up to you and puts 50 items on you, and you're in a dressing room for the last hour until somebody says, oh, that's great. Now, we have to make this very, very simple.
Yeah.
And that is the key. That's what our men like, and that's what we're trying to do on the internet. Make it simple. You can buy something online. We have no return rules. You don't like it, just send it back. You know, there's no 20 days, 30 days, package, not package. We're trying to make it very simple for people.
Yeah.
The more we keep it simple, the more that's going to grow.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about your own brand?
I did, but I like my vendors.
Yeah.
My brands that I bring from my vendors are well known. Like you had said, we did Robert Graham at one point. We did Brioni at one point. We did Canali. You know, there's so many great brands out there. I feel like I'm cheating the customer if I bring in my own brand.
Yeah.
That's just internally.
Talk a little bit about the Albertos. Yeah, I've been.
Where are they made at?
Alberto is a jean pant company out of Germany.
Germany, wow.
It's a 110-year-old company. It's one of the biggest producers of bottoms in the European market. And in the U.S., they've been here for over 30 years. And they have some specific products that people like. Three distinct parts. One is jeans. They probably
love their jeans.
Yeah, comfortable jeans.
Very comfortable. Talk about what's in their jeans.
So the jeans has it's a tensile fabric with a lot of stretch. So they're lightweight, so they're great for our market. Easy stretch, but they don't bag out. Where most company stretches, you know, after a few washes, they don't feel the same. This thing just gets even more comfortable as you wear it. The other pant that we have, which is a home run, and Alfie is actually wearing one today, is their golf pant. Now, when I say golf, you always think it's an active pant, and you're going to be on a golf course. It's actually a dressy-looking pant.
Yeah. To
the point where I've had gentlemen who bought the black one, and they wore it as a tuxedo pant. I know it sounds a little odd, but it's so comfortable. Once you wear this golf pant, we tell people you're not going to wear any other pant. And I think Alfie is a prover to that.
He wears them every day.
I wear them every day. It's the only pants I wear.
Yeah.
And what's nice about it, you know, look, they're not cheap, number one. Okay, they're pricey, but on the other hand, the money that I've saved with not having to dry clean my pants, because what you do is you wash these pants and then you don't put them in the dryer, 10 minutes?
Right, not even right.
5 minutes. You don't iron them, and they keep its fit. But the money that you save in that, you're going to save over the long haul more than what you think, and you're going to get pants that are phenomenal. I love, you know, one of my friends that's you know, a golf pro, Jeremy Wells. He came in and he liked the shorts that I had on, and I bought him a pair of shorts because, you know, he's a PGA player. He's played for, you know, and I told you might want to endorse him because
we already have 4 players on the PGA wear it.
Okay.
We have to take the labels off. How about that one for you? Wow. They don't wear it with the labels because these men are endorsed by a clothing company.
Can you say who they are?
I can't even say who they are. And we just shipped some to the last tournament. I don't know what it was, Centennial? So we had to ship 2 pants to a guy who was going to the tournament. So you know, you always see their shirts and it says either Puma, Adidas, Nike on the shirt. But the pant doesn't really have a logo most of the time. So these guys can get away with it. But The other thing you said about price, yes, they are expensive, but the most compliment we get is from dentists, doctors, construction guys. They go, I can't wear a pant. I trashed them in 6 months. They buy the golf pant. They haven't trashed it in 4 years.
Yeah, they
so
last.
Right. So that less expensive that pant they bought so many times, it became more expensive.
Yeah.
Where this pant
quality, yeah.
It lasts. It's
Is that a German fabric too?
It's a Swiss fabric.
Oh, Swiss.
It's a Swiss engineered fabric. The fabric is very proprietary to Alberto. So there's a lot of active pants out there. There's a lot of great brands who do it, but this particular fabric is special. I stand behind it. Anybody can take one home and they'll see why it's so good.
Yeah, we're really coming down to the end of the show. Arda, talk a little bit. Give your website, give your phone number, and tell them how they can reach. And the website would be something if they want to just check that website out, get some stuff there, or if they want to come to your store, go ahead and give them.
So our website is Mondo Uomo, MondoUomo.com. The name of the store.com. It's a great website. All products are there, and we have local customers, which amazes me, buy on our website. People will live 4 blocks away, 6 blocks away, because they found the convenience. They know what they're getting. So the website is always a great place to start. The store is at the Village on Venetian Bay.
Can you spell that for them? Spell the Mondo.
MondoUomo. So that means men's world in Italian. MondoUomo.com. The store is located at the Village on Venetian Bay. We're on the south side, right next to Bayside Restaurant, Miramare Restaurant. We've been there. That's an easy find. Come by one day, walk around. And
meet the team.
Yeah, meet the team. I have a great George and Lana have been with me, like Alfie said, for over 18 years, 20 years now. We have a good support team. The other thing we didn't talk about is our alteration. We make sure when you buy something, when you leave, it fits you perfect. That is the key here. It has to fit you well.
Absolutely. Well, Arda, thank you so much. And like I said, we've been doing this for years, and you make us look good on TV. And I want everybody to really, if you need some new clothes, let Arda do what he did with me. Get me straightened out, because I was a wreck. I was wearing Jacques Panay stuff before.
You've always been lucky. Walking next to Tommy, you've always looked wonderful. So
yeah. Tommy makes me look good. But thank you very much, Arda.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great to have you in studio today. And before we go off the air today, we want to make sure that you pick up your high net worth toolkit that Alfie has put together. It's designed for affluent retirees and pre-retirees. Inside, you're going to have access to Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement. And today we have 9 copies available for our listeners who requested today. And inside this high net worth toolkit, there's a guide there that will take you to downloads of tax reduction, estate planning, large IRA strategies, charitable giving, and so much more. All you have to do is text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. And I know you want to know when the TV show is on so you could see Alfie dressed in those clothes. Alfie, why don't you tell them when they can see you?
Absolutely. You can watch on NBC, and it's on every Sunday right after Meet the Press, 11 to 11:30. So you want to definitely watch that. And then you, of course, right here on 92.5, we've been on this station for well over 10 years now. We're blessed to have 2 great stations, TV and radio. And it was really a great show today, because Arda is the fashion in Naples and Fort Myers. So we're looking forward to having you check them out. Until next week, be blessed.